Find you.
Hello everyone! Wait, who's introing it?
You. Oh.
Yeah, I know. Okay, alright. Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever Mad Lads podcast. I'm joined here today by Ryan Bilinghurst, Jack O'Malley, and Sudden Crisis. Take it away, Jack.
Right, okay, so the first topic of tonight is going to be Valorant. Opinions, please.
Looks fucking dope. Getting it as soon as my PC is built. Play that shit.
I personally think it's not. I don't think it's that. I think it's a bit overrated, personally.
Yeah, it's just basically CS:GO mixed with like the Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
I just feel like it's a 3D version of phone games.
I think the problem is, I've been really looking forward to a new game, but it's just not the type of game that I've been looking forward to see.
Yeah, it's just not doing. I mean, I don't think it's doing it for anyone. To be fair, like people saying, "Oh yeah, it's sick, it's sick," but I don't see anyone posting about it. Yeah, that's all.
Did you see Tfue?
It's not like it's going to be a bad game. It's probably going to be a very good game.
No,
it's just not the kind of game that I play, and because of that.
I mean, bear in mind, it is by Riot Games, and they are known for very good games. And I reckon since Riot's got like such a massive company, they will give it lots of really good updates and stuff. But I think the problem is, it's too mediocre. It's just like, did you see when Tfue played it on stream and he was like, "Oh, this game's too slow. I'm probably not really going to play it a lot." And then that just told a lot of his community that it looks a bit shit.
Rainbow is quite slow. So if you think
but like it's a different style.
It's a different. Rainbow's slow, but it's more like a.
I'm sorry, but it's just like a direct copy. Yeah, it's just a direct copy. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But it's also got that sort of.
The problem is it's too similar to other games.
Direct copy.
You can't really make new games. That's the problem.
Yeah, because everything's almost nearly been done.
I know,
but
like,
still,
when it comes to Valorant, it's just nowhere near new. It's new, but it's just a bit too much of a copy.
Yeah,
like it feels more like a fan game, doesn't it?
It's like when games come out that are built off new concepts or are built out of like a book or a comic or something like that, they generally turn into pretty decent games if made by a decent company. Sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
Looking at some of the old Spider-Man games for that. You know, sometimes they're just trying to milk some cash. But generally speaking, games like Witcher, they're built with a promise of being built in a world with lore, and therefore they can't really fuck it up. When it's an FPS game, the only thing they're looking at is mechanics. Mechanics and
money.
But mechanics don't make me want to play a game. I don't look and go, "Ooh, I can slide." That makes me want to buy. I go.
I mean, for me, the mechanics are quite a make or break deal for me for most things. Like I'm a bit of a mechanic guy. Like when it comes like games like Titanfall 2, I adore the mechanics for that.
See, but I prefer Titanfall 1.
That's why I play Apex.
I thought Titanfall 2 was just like I thought Titanfall 2 was overcomplicated. Like Titanfall 1 was just you get no classes, you're thrown straight into it, and you get like cards that you can become. Oh yeah, you can become a Spectre. Oh yeah, you can see through walls. It's none of this
I just prefer Titanfall 2.
I know, but everyone's
refined play style and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but every game company's sort of at this point gone down the route of you have a set class, and that class has an ability, and that ability charges up over time.
Yeah, like for me, I love class-based shooters. That's why I used to love when I used to play Overwatch all the time. Like I've got thousands of hours on Overwatch, probably.
Yeah.
And I love Apex Legends as a game. Yeah. I just feel like I was so excited when Valorant came out, and it was like when I heard about it, it was like, oh, new class-based shooter similar to CS:GO with some aspects of
Overwatch,
class-based attacks and stuff, aspects of Overwatch and Apex. It's like, oh, this looks really good. And then I looked at the gameplay, and it looks just CS:GO, and I'm like,
it's
almost
exactly like CS:GO.
It only looks like CS:GO with then like mobile style graphics of here's some acid spewing out the ground. You go, does that look good?
I guess it is basic as well.
It's very
to be
basic.
fair.
You know what I mean?
But like it is very sort of copy-ish. Like you look at CS:GO and you look at that and you just think, oh, that's some kid that has just given his own spin on the CS:GO. CS:GO could sell that as their own game.
It looks a bit like it's a community project. Like someone that was playing CS:GO decided they're going to take the maps as a community project and put them with new FPS shooters with like power-ups and put the two together. In concept, it looks really good. It probably plays pretty well. I'm sure the mechanics are pretty sound. But
see, like,
I'm not sure if I'm willing to buy.
There's certain mechanics in the game that like can be abused. Like drop shotting is like probably a massive one that can be abused in like any FPS shooter.
Yeah, dolphin diving used to be a thing as well.
Like it's just stuff like that, like continuous sliding. That was a big thing. It's just stuff like that, and the game companies keep
the
making
things.
Look,
yeah.
How I see it, if that stuff like that requires skill, I really like it. Like in Apex, I think it was season 1, you could bunny hop whilst medding, and that took fucking insane amount of skill. I loved that.
To learn how to do, and that was
Well, it didn't take any.
I think that was really cool.
More than skill.
Yeah,
it kind of just drove away new players.
It shows the people that put the hours in the practice in are the ones who end up winning, which is what is meant to be happening.
I feel like the only skill that should be in games is skill based on like aim and prediction, game knowledge. Skills based on just the fact that you can press B very quickly or in a certain like pattern. I don't know if that makes a good game. It just feels like
not on its own. Not on its own, but like if
I'm gonna have to disagree on you with that. I'm sorry. I feel like let me give you like an example, like Overwatch for an example. You've got a character like Junkrat, where if with enough practice you can get the timing of his concussion mine and grenade down where to a point where you can just insta kill someone. I think that's a really awesome mechanic.
Yeah.
And I feel like with games like Overwatch as well, when it comes to team play, like games where it's like you need to know how to work well as a team, you need to know the maps. It's all these aspects, and it just gives the game so much more layers. And it's like it really separates the pros from the normal players, because when you watch a pro play, you can see that they're looking at the map, they're communicating with the team, they come up with these crazy strategies, and he's got all his buttons down and his aims down. And it's just for me that's like really fascinating about a game. Like
you mentioned pro players. But I think it's got to the point now where pro players basically run the communities.
Oh yeah, like take Ninja.
There's a difference between
one of the main
play
saves
and
in
casual
Fortnite
play.
updates and stuff.
So like casual players play very differently to pro players. So the level of play completely changes, and what makes a good pro game completely changes what's a good casual game. A key example of this is the recent Rainbow Six Siege Jaeger update, which is just due to how pro players play Jaeger rather than casual players.
I like how Rainbow does stuff with pro play and normal players, but I also don't like it at the same time. Like they nerfed Goyo because pro players were getting annoyed, but they buffed. Who'd they buff recently?
There
was one character, Ying.
Yeah, they made her really overpowered.
But the reason they did that is just so they could get Warden back on track, so people can play him.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things, they try to do knock-on effects, so they make one person overpowered so they can make someone else be more powered, and then they try to lower it again by adjusting guns and weapons.
Yeah.
And I think there's some staple characters which they're finding it really hard to adjust. Like I think Jaeger they wanted to adjust from the very beginning. And at first it was really hard because everyone hated it when they got rid of the ACOG. The saying that they could do anything else after that, which is a bit much. No one liked that. They're kind of fighting their own community to make a game that they want to make, and then because they're doing that, it makes it much harder for them.
Yeah.
But where games end up normally is pretty good. When a game company cares what the community thinks and how they want to act, but they also know when they have to step in and change it so new players can come join the game. Like, that's generally speaking a good game company that wants to help out the game, make it longevity, keep it alive for a long time. COD doesn't really do that. COD lets things be buggy, and they just keep it buggy because they're going to make a new game next year anyway. So for them, it doesn't make a difference if 725 kills everyone in 2 shots.
Yeah,
in any distance.
But there's been talks about like certain games delaying. Like 2020 Call of Duty might not even be happening until 2021, which means that this game's now got to prepare for another year, which most Call of Duties don't have. The only other one that had that was Black Ops 3. Is it 3 or 4? I think both of them had like a long lifetime.
Mainly Black Ops 3. Black Ops 4 had a pretty decently long lifetime.
I rated that game. So many people hated on it, yet it was so decent.
But people hated on what? Black Ops 3 or Black
Ops 4.
Black Ops 3
but they were decent games. That's the thing. It's just when the community sees something and it looks bad.
Well, the reason I hate on Black Ops 3 and 4 is they were basically the same game, and they based it on the feature of being able to have some sort of flight mechanics, but it wasn't full on. Like Titanfall, I didn't mind the fact that you could glide on that. It just felt weird in a COD game. Like when it's in its own separate game, it feels right.
Yeah.
Titanfall was a
COD,
game, it's made for
more.
that type of gameplay. COD isn't really made for that type of gameplay. COD's
And
for
people
more
that have played COD for a long
getting their run and
time
gun stuff.
play it in a very different way as well.
Like if you listen to like a Skrillex song, which is like one of why people used to do Skrillex montages, is like you could easily just bang out a match, listen to a Skrillex montage, and it go perfectly. But if you try to listen to classical music and play like a game of Warzone, for example, ain't happening. There's also
back to Valorant. I just feel if the devs do care, it will become a really good game because they have the money from Riot Games to back them up. I mean, think about League of Legends. They make these massive entire cinematics just for like skin releases. You know
can we get sponsored,
please? If Valorant, and if Valorant like carries on like that, then I'm sure it will become like a really good game. Maybe like a really good franchise.
They just need to set that idea straight. They need to sort of trust everyone what they're doing. They can't do like a game and say, oh yeah, there's no microtransactions, and then put almost most things behind locked doors. That's not how you're going to get people.
Such as Battlefront.
Yeah, like games like Battlefront, but bear in mind that's doing quite well for itself now.
Yeah,
it's like stuff like that. They learn the hard way.
I don't trust game companies that fuck up a game in production and then go, well, we got a DLC and a bunch of content you really want, but we're going to lock it behind a pay door. It's just like, I've already paid 80 quid for a game. I'm not going to pay an additional 40 quid over 6 months just to give me the content you've already made. I paid up front for a game. When you go to anything else, you go like you get a ticket for a cinema, you pay up front and that's it. You got the ticket, that's it. You don't walk in and they go, oh, you wanted a seat that actually had a back to it, another 10 quid. Oh, you wanted it to be comfortable? Another 10 quid. You want to be able to see the screen in a non-blurry way? Another 10 quid. It's just like, no, you just pay. And
then their excuse for not giving you the seat with the chair in the first place is that, well, you should pay us because I'm sure you do want the seat with the back to it.
You didn't fully understand what we were selling to you. Therefore, it's your fault as a consumer.
In-depth research on the game completely. And there's a lot of gamers out there who don't want to research the game. They just want to go in blind.
But people,
like one thing I'd done was
40-year-old gamers that are the initial gamers, like PlayStation 1 gamers that now just want to play casually because they still have work most of the time. They just pick up a game because it's new or it reminds them of a different style of game. They don't have enough time to look at trailers or look at gameplay that comes out. They can't do that. And they just want to play the game in their free time. They don't want to have to get behind a thing where it's like, here's a battle pass, you have to play a minimum of 100 hours.
See, I'm sorry, but like I disagree with you with the battle pass. Like, there's certain games
are pretty interesting. It gives you an incentive to play, and it makes the game a little bit, I don't know.
Which is why I paid. But there's certain ones that you look at and you go, that's just crap. That's 10 quid.
Battle passes that have content behind them. That's what I don't like. If your battle pass forces you to get a battle pass so you can do certain things in the game, that's when it's not good.
Yeah, what I like is when they say you can finish the battle pass and you get a free battle pass with it, or you can buy something else with the credits that we give you with that.
If you're devoted to the game enough, then they reward you.
I have a very different thing, because games previously used to have a challenge thing, whereas like you complete a challenge, which is either like you can see what the challenge requires you to do or you can't, and they give you a reward based on completing the challenge, and some of them of course level up rewards. COD already does level up rewards. That's why when you get to level 55, you can never drop down and you've already unlocked all the guns. That was a level up challenge. In other COD games, before the Battle Pass, there was other challenges where it's like, get 100 kills using this specific sniper scope and you unlock a specific skin or a specific mod on your gun. And that was based on playtime and certain experience and using certain mechanics to unlock certain specifics. Battle Pass gives you 20 things for free and 120 things if you pay cash.
Can I just say,
That's
I
what I
wish
don't like.
battle passes didn't fall like. I wish battle passes you could only buy them and then you have to grind. I wish they didn't give you the opportunity to pay for it all up
To
front.
buy through.
Oh,
yeah.
Because I feel that gives the people that have a lot of money but no skill the opportunity
Power.
to just flex on everyone who puts all the effort in to do the battle pass.
Yeah,
And I also
think
really
that,
don't like battle passes that aren't purely cosmetic. If a battle pass is purely cosmetic, that's fine. But if you can unlock certain weapons or guns or stuff that will give you a slight advantage over people, I don't like that. I don't like how games force you to buy.
My example of that, which is it's not entirely true, but it's still sort of true, which is COD, is that they give you free weapons. So when they make a new free weapon, it is free.
Yeah, but they give it to you.
But they make it be the level mark,
Yeah,
like
they
level
give it to you
30.
for free.
But
level
if you pay for the
30.
battle pass, you get there immediately. And it's just
Yeah,
like
and it's
No,
just
no,
kind of
but
like-
that makes
no.
it playable.
Yeah,
that makes it playable.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But it's sort of like if you miss out on that battle pass completely, like such as other games like Fortnite or something like that, you won't ever get the chance to get that again. But
I
in
think
this
that's quite
game,
a fun
they give
thing
you
about it,
like
though. Because
but
it's like,
yeah,
oh, you were
but
there.
in certain games, I wish they gave like certain things. I wish they said, right, you wanted to unlock this. You still paid for the battle pass, but you never completed it. But here's a challenge to redo to get this weapon and make it like really difficult. So you obviously give it a time frame. We're going to ramp it up. But I also hope that Valorant doesn't go down that route. I really don't want a game like that.
I reckon Valorant will have a
yeah,
battle pass just because it is a trending thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't.
If they handle the battle pass like Apex, where it's purely cosmetic, if you buy it, you can rebuy the next seasons, add challenges to make it fun. It would be good.
It's perfectly fair.
I'll take
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I don't mind battle passes that are cosmetic. I just don't like it when they slam it down your throat. Where it's just every time you load up the game and it just goes, here's the fucking battle pass, here's a notification, buy it now.
Buy
it's
it.
like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want it.
It's stuff like that that's going to get on
Leave me
people's nerves.
Yeah.
I just want to play the game. It'd be like if every time you bought a Samsung phone, it would tell you about the new Samsung phone that comes out every time you log into it.
Yeah.
Like you want to go log into your game, you put in your codes, open a pin, it just comes up with an ad for 50 seconds. You just go, no. I didn't buy a phone to get ads, I bought a phone to be a phone. And the thing is, we joke like that's never going to happen, and what I'm saying is a strange concept. It's probably not.
But it totally will.
It's gonna
I feel
happen.
like it would.
People are so complacent to what companies do that companies can just get away with anything if they play the long con on it. But think about how massively games have changed. Like plenty of game companies, name drop EA, have stated things that are incredibly crazy, such as people should pay real life cash to have bullets. Like if they wanted people in EA, they wanted you to pay £1 or $1 into the game so that you could have the bullets into your gun so you could play.
Yeah, stuff like that.
People went mental.
That
is
is a mental concept. That means you pay for a game, not a free-to-play game. You pay for a game, and you have to pay constantly. You have to, feed it. You have to basically just suck in your blood. It's more than just your time they're wasting. Now they're taking more time because you have to work to get money, and they're taking that money. Basically meaning you're working for the game, and then you get home and you still have to level up, meaning you still have to work for the game again. It's such a strange concept. The amount of time and money you put into games just to be able to play them the way you want to. Here's a character. We've made a new character. You like to play this character? Money.
That's literally it.
Here's a pre-order.
But every game company's just like that at this moment in time.
Pre-order, and then you can actually play the game when it comes out. Or do you want to get the standard pre-order and you get to play the game a week after it comes out? It's not early access. If the game's already put on the market, then it's put on the market. But you have to pay the deluxe edition, extra £30, making it a £90 game, so that you can play it when it comes out. Why were gamers not standing up to that? Why were people just going like, I guess that's a normal concept, just pay even more?
I mean, it's not like gamers can't change ideas. Like, a big person that done it, obviously Bikini Broly, he partitioned for Boss Jacob. He got that within about a few months of just continuous spamming. Another thing, Call of Duty players, they wanted a Mob of the Dead remastered. We ended up getting that in like twice, and that was everywhere since Black Ops 3 came out. Like, it's games like that you sort of sit down and you think, well, we can change it. Like, it's not like we're alone.
It's
not like, oh yeah, but
they could. The difference between Boss Jacob was just because the Ubisoft devs cared, and they realised that having a Boss Jacob wasn't even going to be that bad to the game. The COD ended up also having money related to zombies. It was buying DLC maps and buying other stuff. So for them, it was also a financial thing, where it's like, you get zombies for free, but you can also pay for more zombies. So for them, it was a double hander, where it's just like, yeah, why are we not doing this? We've made money previously doing it, do it again.
Let me talk about, in terms of like listening to the community, you know, a game like Overwatch, where when the game first came out, it was so promising, as in, they were listening to community. It was great. We had weekly dev updates from Jeff, where he was face to face telling us about all the new updates, everything new. Everyone loved Overwatch. Overwatch was massive when it first came out, and then as the years went on, less content started coming out. We started losing out on events. Eventually, everyone was getting frustrated, saying, "Hey, why haven't we got a new game mode this event? Hey, could we maybe get a new couple skins?" And I get they were making Overwatch 2. I get that they were making a new game.
And
it really frustrates me where they just suddenly cut off content, and it's like, we're making a new game.
Or they don't really put any real explanation for it either. It's like, we're making a new game, but we're not going to explain to you what's in the new game yet. We just know we're just going to stop giving you content. Like, I still love Overwatch as a game. Like, I gotta give it credit where credit's due. It is a brilliant game, and it does really well in the community. Like, even now, it still has a pretty good communication with its community. But it's just the little things, like ignoring people for months, or just stuff like that. It's just game companies, and developers normally have the very similar pattern. Whereas when they're small and they're very unknown, they're incredibly caring to their community, because the community is the only one that gives them jobs. Like, if the community likes their game and they're willing to buy into that game, they're the only ones that keep them employed.
A small game company is Blue Mammoth. They listen to the community.
That is one of the
Brawlhalla is so good. I love that game.
They literally creators of the game. They do streams every time a new character comes out, and they just talk to the chat.
They do like
another game that I can think about that is a big company is Focus something. It's the people that made Phantom Insurgency and Bethesda for Fallout 76. Ever since that game was on a slight downhill, it was they were doing constant weekly updates telling the people we're doing a new event this week. They planned out a roadmap for 2 years of that game. 2 years for that entire.
I also have to say, there's a reason why Fallout 76 came out bad. The reason it got
roadmap
published bad, and that's because the shareholders and the upper management didn't care. They knew the game was in production and they knew it was playable, so they just put it out into the market, publishing it as a new game.
Let me just say, when Skyrim was in its prime, gaming was at its peak. In my opinion, when Skyrim was at its prime, gaming peaked.
Yeah.
I loved when Skyrim came out. All the games that came out when Skyrim came out, it was just.
You can tell Skyrim was community driven because mods weren't bad. They're like, you want a mod?
Mods were encouraged.
This game? That's fine. You can do that. We've been putting a menu update so you can mod it.
Yeah.
Same with Minecraft. When Minecraft first came out, it was like, here's a mod menu.
Fallout 4. Fallout 4 got that at the end. They got a genuine, for anyone that wanted it, a direct stream to mods.
Yeah, but Fallout 4
game
also
companies
came with pay-for mods. So I mean,
Thomas the Tank Engine baby. Or Thomas the Tank Engine mini nuke. If you want to summon Thomas the Tank Engine, you got.
Everyone here's played Skyrim, right?
No, I haven't.
You haven't played Skyrim?
I've played it.
I played a little bit. I think I played about like 30 seconds.
Right, you should get on that. It's an amazing game.
I plan to, but at the moment I'm trying to finish. What fucking game am I trying to finish? It is a banger. Let me find it. Generation Zero.
Oh,
That game is such a banger that it was like, oh yeah, this is going to be hype, and then no one like there's barely any videos on it, and it is such a good game because it's one of them games that the narrative isn't told necessarily by such things, but the map is huge. It's like it's huge. It's basically Sweden. It's enormous.
yeah.
And there's so many. I swear, no, Sweden. Or is it Norway?
Is it Sweden?
I wouldn't know.
If it's very rocky, it's Norway.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not wrong. I don't know. But it's one of them places, basically.
We're saying it's Scandinavian. Would they clarify?
Yeah, we'll say
it's Scandinavian.
It's
one of
Scandinavia.
It's Scandinavian.
I'm putting my money on Norway. I know what game he's talking about, but I don't really know it. If he's wrong and he does play it,
that's the thing.
Big brain. But yeah. The only other game company that I know, the massive game company, it's big and it still has shareholders, but they still care for the community. Is CD Projekt Red. Witcher 3, absolute banger. We haven't seen, because it hasn't come out yet, Cyberpunk 77.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
is hype.
The gameplay
I've
already shown.
About it.
Like, I'm not sure on console with the graphics they're going to come out, but they've put so much work into that game. There's lore upon lore
Xbox
upon
Series
lore.
X.
The reveal they had like Keanu Reeves. The reveal of that.
I mean, think about how much care they put into setting that reveal up.
Even more than that, even more than just the fact they have Keanu Reeves, my bad.
There you go.
Behind it,
K Reeves.
can't pronounce words, so you just have to deal with that. Like, more than that, like, the actual world they showed was more in depth than most worlds I've ever seen. Like, most RPG style games don't really show you the world as much.
Yeah.
They just tell you about it. They just list off the things that were in it. Like CD Projekt Red, they just went, look, here's the world. We're gonna keep giving you gameplay footage of the world, a little bit of the storyline, so you can see a bit more of the world. We can start telling you about it. I mean, the gameplay footage showed like quite an enormous amount of the world. And most games don't do that. And the reason for that is they don't know what the world's going to come out as. They don't know what state they're going to release it in, what stuff's going to change. They didn't care. They wanted people to see it. And they went, boom, you've got it. Here we go.
Yeah, but also, like, coming back to Valorant, there wasn't really anything built up for that game. There was a trailer, and that
It just came out of nowhere, and it did look
pretty.
It was when it was teased.
Looked really good.
It looked so lousy though, didn't it? It was like, right, is our project? We're gonna call it project. I can't remember what they called it. Like project.
That's the thing. It's not
like,
memorable. If the community doesn't remember it, then
it's memorable because it's made by Riot Games. The only reason that's why people care about it. It just came out of nowhere. The gameplay footage was tiny. They got a bunch of streamers to play it, which is fair enough. I get how you want people to get your name out there. But the amount of care in the trailer, it just doesn't. I don't care
there's another reason,
about it.
The part of the reason for that is that Riot Games put a lot of their money into different features for Valorant, and that feature is something that should have been put into a lot of FPS games, which is they bought servers all across the US. I think they bought some in Europe, but not quite as much. And the point of that is they wanted ping and latency to not be an issue. So you could play with anyone, anywhere, at any time, because they would connect to a server near them, rather than trying to connect to the main server. If you're in Europe and you're going to play in America, you're trying to connect to the American server. You're not trying to connect to a game server. Riot Games didn't like that. So they bought their own servers. So now when you want to play against US people, you're actually playing into a Riot Games server. And that server could be in your own country, even if you want to play in a different region. Because of that, you don't have ping issues.
Servers are a big thing because you need to have the capacity for them. Because if you think that your game's going to be huge, you have to make sure that your game's going to be huge.
That's one of the big problems as well. It's a gamble, isn't it? Most
game companies just own one set of servers. They just have the set of servers in their, not studio, but you get what I mean. It's like one compound in a way that has the servers, and that's it. Riot Games didn't like that. They decided they're going to have servers spread out across the world so that everyone could connect to the server near them, and that server can connect to other servers near that, so that the bandwidth can all be spread nice and evenly. Everyone has a good connection. And that was something that made Valorant incredibly popular for streamers, pro players, stuff like that. Because pro players hated like high ping in so many FPS games, because it led to something called peeker's advantage, where when you peek a corner, the ping rate of the defender can't see you until after you peek around the corner. So that just led to most FPS games that had something like a headshot one kill mechanic, such as CS:GO, Rainbow Six Siege, games like that. Pros didn't like that feature. Peekers could come around the corner, kill you immediately, just because your ping wasn't very high. The only solution to that was LAN servers. Pros didn't like that either. If you're a pro in Europe, but the LAN servers in the US, and it's going to be held there permanently for the whole of their season, you can't make a move for 3 months.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's something. So Valorant decided to fix this just by making servers worldwide. Well, not worldwide just yet, but they might. And the reason for that is they just wanted people to be able to play their game. And it means people don't have to do LAN servers. It means their community is going to grow. Because the fact that people in Asia or people in Australia or people in Africa can play in an actual server that has a decent ping rate, that means more people can play the game. At the moment, people with the only servers that have a decent ping rate and low numbers of hackers is the American servers. Decent ping rate, but some hackers use Europe servers. PC servers have a ton of hackers. Asian servers normally have a ton of hackers. African and South American and Australian servers just have no.
Korean servers. Can we just say that King Jong-un practically?
We're talking about in South Korea. You know, in South Korea, gaming is a massive thing. Yeah. We're gonna talk about how in Overwatch, like in South Korea, gaming is really massive. Like I don't know much about South Korea, but I just know that it's a huge thing there. And I remember there was a point where if you caught hacking, you would get fined for so much money. And
that's PUBG done that.
Yeah, the Overwatch Korean servers. There was a point for like a good 3 months where it was just what nuking is in a video game, right? When you nuke the server and it makes everything lag out for everyone except from you, essentially. And every server, I watched the stream of this. I watched a Korean stream of this person just playing casually, and every 4 out of 5 games, the game would just stop and freeze, and then suddenly it would say defeat, and they would it was so bad. It was so bad. And they I don't I'm not a game company owner, but I just wouldn't know how to fix that.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't know what to do about
that. They tried to just play in nearby servers, so they tried to play in the Pacific, the West Coast servers. So in America had a lot of Asian hackers come across.
Yeah.
The problem for them. Europe didn't have that because we were the complete opposite side of the world, so we just kind of avoided that issue. We just instead.
We were fine with that.
But Rainbow Six Siege had the same problem with people just DDoSing nuking servers. Nuking the servers is less common, but DDoSing was quite fun.
There was an incident. It was me. I think we were all in it. We all in it, and we got DDoSed by 2 people.
What, in Rainbow?
I've got the clip of it. I've got the clip of it of me clutching up the round. They DDoSed everyone but me.
Except for you.
They just DDoSed the whole server, and it kicked out most people in the server. And we could tell they were doing it because when we were on attack on the final round, when they did it, we couldn't leave. We couldn't get to the building. It was fine on defense, so arguably it was only just normal server lag, and potentially that was true. But it just felt suspicious that after absolutely destroying them in a game where it looked like it should have been even odds, seeing suddenly that we weren't allowed to enter the building, and then a lot of us got kicked out.
Yeah.
But some of them had a very low ping rate, which is the most suspicious thing. It wasn't like everyone had 600 ping.
Yeah.
It was everyone on our team had 600 ping, and 2 people on their team had 9 and 14. And it was just
but the thing is, everyone on their team had left. Everyone on their team had left.
When we did we message them afterwards, nice DDoSing, and they were thanks, sarcastically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I know
like, they were just being really sarcastic because they knew we knew. They knew we know. We knew. They knew we knew.
They didn't like the fact that
Xavier's having a stroke.
Wait, they knew that we knew. There we go.
Yeah, yes,
they knew
there you
about
go.
their
and because we knew, we just had to put all the effort into the defense rounds, which came right after. And there wasn't much they could do, so we just put all effort into stopping them from planting, because otherwise they might have done it again, which would have been really annoying. But that's one problem with Rainbow Six Siege servers, just the DDoSing.
Oh yeah.
It makes it so annoying. Because it's leaked into most rank play, same as like playing with a laptop mouse. It's just leaked into everything. It used to just be some pros did it when they were playing on console. You know, just some people that they just found it easier, and then just leaked down to diamonds now do this, or now some plats do this, or now golds do it. And it just becomes being a skilled person using a controller. You become less, lower your rank because people are playing using other gear. It's because the game is built for console, it's not super easy for them. They can't do peeking while crouching or peeking without aiming in like they do on PC. The controls of auto aim still exist. Even when you're playing with a mouse, it's going to start pulling your aim a little bit. But if you turn off most of the features and aim assist and everything else, you can get pretty close to what it's like to play on a PC. And because you can get that close, it doesn't make it fair. It just doesn't. And that's why I hate crossbow. It shouldn't be a thing in Warzone, the current Call of Duty. Is that I have to enable crossplay, and I have to play with PCs.
Yeah.
Or putting them in lobbies with other people that are doing the same thing.
We see people with PCs though. We have seen when crossplay is enabled that we've played against PCs in tournaments, and that you just see the little symbol come up. They're playing on the PC, and he just goes, "That's not fair." It's just not fair that they can 360 while stunned because they can whip their mouse across the screen. But my thumbstick can only go 100%. I can't do more. I can't do anything else. I can't.
I think something that would be quite good is if there was just native mouse and keyboard, maybe.
Yeah.
It would kind of fix the problem. Because
I think the main reason it's a problem is just because PC play is both expensive and then full of hackers. So you have to pay a lot of cash to get
but it's the same
PC,
thing. That's what Valorant.
To get the software, to get the gear.
I mean, I think PC play is
PC,
good though. Like, I prefer playing on PC. It's just that I don't really have any friends who have a PC because PCs are expensive. And I'm very lucky to own a PC.
I would get one if I could afford one. I'd get one.
Yeah.
But that's why I like the new gen consoles. The idea, because console series
it's just a pre-built
just takes
PC.
the Xbox and goes pre-built PC. Exactly.
Yeah, probably that is like I prefer PC
it has good
controls.
RAM.
As a console player, who's played PC and console, I prefer PC. But it's like I just like that console feels like it's like home. It's like homey for me. It's like I'll come on with the Xbox with the boys. It's like when I go on the PC, it's like okay, time to try hard.
It feels too serious as well on PC.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't want serious gameplay some of the time. But with console, because it gives you a helping hand, but it also limits you at the same time, it gets you to that sweet spot of normal play, where you can just play at a reasonable level and enjoy winning, sometimes losing, but it's still fun.
Most of the time losing.
And that's the point of console. It's basically just this helping hand of getting people that are new gamers or older gamers into the point where they can play when they want to, without being hindered too much. Again, there's still skill level on console, but it basically just tries to make it a level playing field as much as it can while being fair. PC doesn't do that. PC just goes, I don't care. You're bad. You're good. You're good. And that's all they're like.
Had a cough.
I mean, PC can't do anything like what Xbox and PlayStation have. Because PlayStation and Xbox can do stuff like you can only use the mandatory controller. Like, it has to have our coding or something, our software, to be allowed to play, to not see it as a foreign entity. PC can't do that because there's so many PC companies that the actual game's played on Steam, which is a software. It can't recognize the hardware you're using.
Yeah.
Therefore, you can play with a crappy PC or a god tier PC. You can't tell the difference. Well, it will know the difference because it's going to tell you a graphics card that it needs to lower the quality, otherwise it's going to explode. But there's nothing you can do to recognize that. Console doesn't have that problem. When you buy an Xbox One, you buy an Xbox One. Yeah. Now, the Xbox One X existing does make that a bit of a problem because Xbox One X still plays against Xbox One.
Yeah, that is one. This is one topic that I did definitely want to get into was the new gen consoles. Yeah, there's two coming out.
We've obviously PS5
got the Switch
and the
PS5
Series X.
I don't like the PS5. They're saying, oh yeah, it's going to be somewhere between 400 and 500 quid. I'm sorry, but that's too expensive for a console.
How much do you think the Xbox Series X is going to be?
It's
I think it's close to
I reckon 250 to 350.
It has 3 stages.
Well, I can't afford that,
it has a standard level, a medium level, and a high tier level. Basically meaning the more you pay into it, you can get more like a PC build. But if you still get the low tier Series X, it's still going to be a massive upgrade to what you currently have.
Yeah, my Xbox is running on.
You paid 300 quid initially, pay another 300 quid, and it doubles in value. Double in the value of the contents, the hardware. So buying the standard is still just basically going to be a massive upgrade to what you currently have. Then you need to get a monitor or a TV that supports a higher level of definition. That's the current problem. It's going to be you're going to get the new console, but your TV is still going to limit you to 1080p even if your console is ready for 4K.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I feel like one of the things that PC does have, when it comes to being better than console, is the customizing, the customization. You can choose whatever monitor you want, choose whatever keyboard you want, choose whatever mouse you want. You want a weighted mouse, you want a light mouse, you want a keyboard with brown keycaps or blue keycaps. You want 2 monitors, 3 monitors, 4 monitors. You want 2 PCs, 2 separate Windows accounts, one with a Twitch chat, one with a video game. With an Xbox, you've got you set up your TV, you set up your Xbox, and then you buy a fancy controller, and then you're set. I feel like with Xbox, I think using PC monitors with Xbox should become more, or with consoles should become more. No, I feel like an Xbox should have almost like a desktop type thing. I don't know.
You can play with multiple monitors on Xbox, just not easily.
Yeah, just not well.
The whole point of
It's too hard to do.
It's just meant to be. It's meant to be the cheap, easy option. It's meant to be. You want to play games, but you want to play games on a budget.
And that's what most people have grown up on as well.
It's like if you get a PC, not every game can be run on the same PC. With console, every game is made so you can run your console. You don't have to worry about the fact you're going to buy a 60 quid big game, $60 game, and then can't play it.
Yeah.
I've had that with my PC where I've bought games and then not able to play it
because the PC isn't strong enough.
But then I can't refund it because I've already tried to play it.
Yeah.
It's just a bit okay, well at least that normally only happens because I buy games when they're on sale, so normally only buy the Steam summer sale at 95%.
I think the thing with that is that you can do these things called
and I go
DXDIAG tests. I think that's what they're called, and you can test out the specs of your PC, and then you run the specs of the game next to each other, and it will tell you if you can play it, and if so, how well it will play.
One thing that I think Xbox should do is I know this is going to sound a bit stupid, but it's a rent system.
Or renting a game.
So
I mean, isn't free membership to Game Pass kind of like that? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, not renting the game. I mean, rent an actual Xbox. You rent an Xbox, you damage it, you pay for it, you lose it, you pay for a full one, you go in debt. You can rent it.
I mean, I get what you mean, but at that point, I think there's game cafes, there's all those types of things to go and rent stuff. I mean,
they need to bring that. They need to bring stuff like that. Arcades now need to I'm sorry, but nothing beats an old classic arcade game. We all know, if you go into an arcade, you see Pac-Man, you're gonna want to play Pac-Man.
Arcades aren't made for proper games. Arcades are made for going in, having a 25-minute Pac-Man game, then doing the claw machine and getting tickets. You know what I mean? That's the arcade.
Yeah.
That's the arcade. That's the appeal of it. To an
Arcades always have an appeal. Even though we're mostly the new gen players, arcades are kind of one of these things. But even when I see them, I kind of want to play it.
It's very enticing.
Machines, the lights. It's also just the allure of the fact that there's a high score as well.
Yeah. There's
like,
a reason why
local high
arcade
score.
machines haven't been made smaller. Because it's just a thing. Like, think about Pac-Man arcade machines. They're massive. And in most modern arcades, they still install them. Because it's just the vibe of an arcade. Like if I saw a little Pac-Man, a little tiny PC monitor and a Pac-Man screen, that's like, come on. Like, I'm not here to see a PC monitor. I'm here to see a arcade machine and get tickets from this massive machine in front of me.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but also part of the reason why they're so big is because of, like if everyone keeps putting in coins, it has to have some space to put it. So normally everything from where the coin slot is down is just coin contents.
Yeah.
Also the back has wires, but like it's mostly just boxes from like the waist down.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you look at Japan, their gaming industry, not just gaming, arcade industry, their arcade
industry is huge.
Absolutely,
it's massive.
It's huge. Just that technology in general. I mean, you don't see a vending machine with a 4-course meal in England, do you? Like,
no, you wouldn't.
I don't think it would work.
You would in Japan.
They'd get broken into.
Yeah, it'd be broken into.
Oh wait,
and then sold on eBay.
Yeah. I mean, that's because in England we can't have nice things. I mean, Japan's like one of the cleanest countries on the planet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's literally, like I swear there's a thing where if you're too loud, it's just
you also
very
can't have
disrespectful.
tattoos in Japan.
Japan is such a, like, in Japan, did you know that it's legal to get drunk in public in Japan? No, it's illegal to get drunk in public.
I'm moving to Japan, lads. I'm moving to Japan.
It's illegal to get drunk in public in most countries. It's legal in Japan. I think the reason for that is because I think it's just because their culture is just so ingrained in them. Like, they know it's just disrespectful to do this. I won't do this because I don't want to be a dickhead. Whereas in England, it's like, oh, fuck this guy. Oh, let's get smashed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in England, it's not.
Why are you describing my Saturday nights, Xavier? Why have you got to bring that up?
He's just trying
to
call me
on the topic of
Japan,
games,
it is rude to eat and drink in, like, just walking. Normally, most people just like sit at the side.
Yeah.
Well, specifically for you cannot walk.
Fuck. I mean, yeah, it's for litter though. It's made for litter. It's like if someone sees you eating and walking at the same time, it's like, oh, he's probably gonna litter that.
Yeah, but I do
it's
that.
A taboo.
I do that, but I always put it in the bin.
I know, but in Japan, it's just a taboo.
It's so ingrained in their culture.
Anyway, off the topic of Japan and games, since we've only got 10 minutes left, we've been doing this for 15 minutes, which is mental. And I never thought this would happen because this is some good content. What do we think is going to happen in terms of this channel? This channel that we're making. Where do we see it in the future?
We have some ideas, don't you worry.
Can I just say, if you're still watching this 50 minutes into the podcast, I mean, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you video about this.
I mean, I don't have the attention span for this, but I know some people do. And if you're one of those people, I really appreciate you being here. But in terms of the future for the channel, I've got so many ideas. We're thinking of testing out random free games and laughing at how bad they are. We're going to have a camping trip up, maybe?
Question mark?
Lads camping. Yeah. With most members of this channel.
Lads v Shite House? Question mark?
You might also have a competition against them? Question mark?
Question mark?
Shite House War? Yeah. Anyway, we're doing the channel. We have a lot of things planned.
Watch and see.
I know we're a small channel
this is
now,
only going to get bigger.
We do really enjoy doing this, and it's just nice to, even with a small fan base that we've got now, because we probably don't even have a fan base. It's just nice to. It's just sick to do.
Well, I mean,
it's fun to do.
I mean, people that this is only the beginning.
Yeah.
We plan on getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger till we can't grow.
I mean, we know if we're consistent, we will
listening
probably
to you guys, our fans, like you guys basically going to design what games we're going to play and how we're going to play them. Because if you choose,
if we post something,
a certain series, or you want to see more for like single player games,
or you don't enjoy something, let us know.
We can do that.
Don't be disrespectful.
Or you want to see more of just a single person. We can make that happen. That's the thing. We are more lenient than certain other YouTubers. They go, you want to see more of a certain person? Oh, okay.
And also, we're not gonna. So at the moment, we're not going to be having any members, and in a way, we also don't really want members. Members add this whole allure of paying into something. I don't like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like being a member's nice.
Oh, we should, guys.
And
We
if
should
you
set up
want
a
to
Discord
support us,
server
you can
for
support
everyone,
us,
for our
but we're
community.
not separating content.
This
Wait, can we do
Discord
that?
server for our community.
Can we set up a Discord
Yeah, we
server
can.
for our community? I thought that'd be sick.
Yes.
Like we've got a small
Yeah.
community right now, but you know, eventually.
But if we could grow this into something amazing, then
This
I
has
believe
been
it,
a lot
but we can
of
do it,
us.
you
This has
guys
been
can
our
do it.
dreams. A lot of us. This has been our dream since we were children, and we're just trying to make this
I've
happen
seen
as
what
best we
other
can.
YouTubers grow.
Yeah,
and some of us
Yeah.
we just got bored in quarantine,
yeah.
and
but
we now
we'll, you know,
really like the idea.
we're gonna keep trying until we get somewhere with it. And if you're still watching this
Yeah,
video,
we
then
don't-
surely
we
we're
don't-
doing something right, because this is going on
Yeah,
53
Yeah.
minutes.
we don't
and
plan.
props to you,
We
man.
don't plan on quitting. We don't plan. We will keep going until.
I mean, if we lose
Well,
members,
we'll
we'll
go
get
back.
new members. If we gain members,
In
actually,
terms
I doubt we'll
of
gain
in terms
members.
of time, we've probably put
I
in
don't- I
more
don't-
time into gaming than we have into our own schooling.
I feel
That is
I feel
probably
Oh yeah,
a legit thing.
yeah.
Get out
So-
GCSEs mixed by Big Boy Boris.
So yeah, I don't know what else to say really.
Well,
But,
I feel like,
like-
thank you for being here, honestly.
Can I answer it?
Yeah, go for it. Wait,
May I answer it?
yeah, go ahead, my man.
Yeah.
I heard a doorbell
Oh,
though.
someone-
You're gonna have to go.
Sounds
there's
like
the
he's
doorbell.
not going to be able to
no,
answer it.
no. We'll call back at the end of the video. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with your family.
If you enjoyed it, share
Please
it with a lot of
do.
people if you can.
With your
We-
nan,
we
share
would
it with your
appreciate
nan, your mum, your dad, whoever. Just
Yeah,
whoever.
there's
Just
not enough
go
of
for
us.
it.
Your great grandnan.
Yeah, we don't have
Granddad
enough
in the
friends to
grave,
get
who
big just
knows?
from friends, so we need you to just share to other people. So,
But you know, as much as you're willing to, as much as you.
well done to making
But,
it
yeah.
to the end cards.
It's all on you guys.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
made it
thank
to
you
the
for
end
making it
cards,
here.
I don't know, I'll put a little special Easter egg in the end card, you know. But
The
thank
end
you
card
for
for
watching.
nice
keep
as well.
Minecraft next year.
Oh yeah, let's go
Have
over
fun.
If you're still here, we'll give you the rundown of when we release videos. We're gonna release Minecraft every single Tuesday, so look forward to that. We're gonna do podcasts like this every single Friday. Now, isn't that amazing?
Isn't that insane?
We should have a random game
We should-
coming out every weekend. We're thinking of starting a little Brawlhalla series if you're into that type of stuff. I'm also thinking about
And
putting out a
if-
series where we play small indie
Any
underground
new,
games.
most new games
Yeah.
that we and ourselves are interested in.
Yeah, and
So
if you wanna
maybe
see
you guys
us
wanna
make
try
fun of
Valorant,
bad
you might see
games-
some PC content, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
If you want to see us make fun of bad, small indie games, we'll do that because
We can
that's
do
one of
that.
my favourite pastimes.
And also, if you want to see us see us bully each other
oh,
for however long we make a
yeah.
video.
Let us
That's
know if you
every,
want to see us in real
every
life.
video.
Let
That's
us know.
Yeah, I know.
As soon as quarantine ends, let us know if you want to see us do some collabs in real life. Maybe we could do some super challenge videos
We
in real life.
can
Maybe
definitely
we could go out and do
arrange
some
that.
stuff.
We can definitely arrange
Yeah,
that.
easily.
Laughing at some good old horror movies. It's my favourite pastime.
Yeah.
Same as indie
We're not
games.
making horror movies.
Looking at some
What are we going to do?
horror
Set
films.
Penguinos to Grim Reaper, mate? Fishing down a set of stairs.
I get it because the Grim Reaper flows. Anyway, we all appreciate you guys watching, and we thank you for watching the podcast. If you stuck all the way, and if you skipped to the end, then thanks for
You're a
putting in the effort of skipping
no,
to the
JK,
end. I
we
guess.
love you.
You
We
know.
love you.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
you view content the way you want to view content.
Yeah.
We're not going
You do
to
you,
challenge
bro.
our fans about how they want to watch this content.
You do
They
you.
want to see some
Comment.
highlight
If-
videos.
if-
Give us
Highlight
some
videos.
comments. We do want feedback, by the way. We do like feedback. Let us
Yes,
know.
we
active feedback is really
because we're but however well you like this channel, view it as however you want. You know, if you want to watch a video while burning your 7 children in an oven, go for it.
Be my guest.
well, you
just
can watch
don't
the video
don't
at
blame
least
us
when the
for
seven
what
children.
happens afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want another lawsuit. Nah, I'm
Concentrate
no,
on
Yeah,
the
not another
message
one.
of what that statement was.
Not another one.
You need to concentrate on things around. You
it's
can't be
the
too
other one for
engrossed.
like you and Grimmett,
Yeah. If you want to view our
Have a lot
content,
of
if you just want to watch one game series, or you just want to see the beginning of the game series, we're happy. We're happy to support you whenever when you want to. If you just give us some active support, just try to tell
give us some
what you
feedback.
like.
We do really want feedback. Just
We need
love
content.
feedback.
Like,
You
we've
want
said it
to-
probably about.
If our
12
video is
times
shit,
already.
if our video is garbage,
We're really,
let us know.
really into
In the most,
Tell us.
in the
We're
best
not
way
going to
possible.
be. We're not going to be annoyed and block you from the channel. No, we just we're stuck.
We wanna
because
know
Never
what
do
it is.
that.
We're new to this.
Anyway,
we're all new
if
to
you-
this. Apart from that one kid. That one kid. He
This
said
is dragging on quite a lot, so I feel like we should just end it here. Jack, do you want to do the outro? Be my guest.
Right.
Oh wait,
Thank you
hold
for
up.
watching.
Wait, sorry, I forgot. This podcast, this is our first podcast. We might start putting in bonus rounds where we invite special guests on the podcast. If you're interested in that,
Let us know who you
stay
want.
in touch. Let us know who you want that we can get in touch with. Not Fortnite
With
Ninja.
great limitation.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jack. Sorry
Our
about
connections to Elon Musk are not
Right.
quite on solid ground anymore.
that. Yeah.
Our negotiations have fallen through. Seems to
Yeah.
smoke weed of him again.
Right.
It's sad.
But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, give us active feedback, share this video around, share it with your nan, your granddad, your 14-year-old stepsister. Ryan, I still ain't got a number. Anything else that you guys want, go for it. Just thank you for watching,
Thank you for
and
watching.
we will see you in the next episode.
Alright, bye everyone.
See you.